an intense day of surfing. The women are now into the semifinals. This is the official 8:05 post show. It's part of the Billabong Pro Pipeline. Chris Cote with Ross Williams and Rosie Hodge. Okay, now we can relax and get back into the aloha spirit after a lot of business behind us. Look at the edge of my seat. It's worn off. That was a wild day of competition that flew by. Ross, so far, so good. The women have lived up to every expectation and more. What performances by all of our females this morning.
Yeah, I mean, it was pumping. There was a lot of nerves this morning. Then everyone just shook it off. You know, we saw some good tube riding. People were, out there taking advantage of that backdoor section out there. They got better and better throughout the morning. So that was pretty exciting.
It was exciting, and we saw a couple buzzer beater moments. Those are always fun in competition. Vast learning curve for the women.
Yeah, it's been learned. We're seeing it. The proof is in the pudding. Everyone rising to the occasion, and the heats and the numbers, they tell that same story. Well, speaking of heats and numbers and buzzer beaters, all of that just happened within the last 10 seconds of that last heat. On the upside of that was Leki Peterson, who is standing by right now with Strider Wasilewski.
Thank you, Chris. Yeah, back on the glass, big smiles walking up. What a turn of events right at the last dying seconds of that. It's been that way through this event for the men and the women. Tell me how it felt to find that wave coming over that when you saw Joanne take hers.
Yeah, geez, I don't know. God was looking out for me there today. But Mike had told me, look for that Ainspool section. It's out there, and it's getting slower. And we were kind of over a little further than the main backdoor takeoff. And so I just was looking at my clock. I was like, okay, I have 20 seconds. If I have to make her go on this first wave. And so I have a clear area to take off for the next one. And it just worked out. I was in the perfect spot, and it came and felt meant to be. But kudos to Joanne. I love Joanne, and she's such a tough competitor. And yeah, she really brings the best out in myself, and I think everyone. So it's really fun to have a heat with her, and she's gonna have an awesome year.
Well, I mean, you got the wave, but you had to do the work, and you did the work. Where do you click into just combat mode? I mean, what's going through your head when you have that pressure?
I guess it's just sort of for me, it's I don't know, at least you have the chance is how I thought of it. It's I'm in with a shot, and you just got to trust your ability in those moments. And, I've put a lot of work in lately, and I just have faith that it's going to work out. And if it didn't, then maybe that's just not meant to be. But I think you just have to believe in yourself and trust in the journey and the process. And so that's what I'm trying to do. And it worked out for me today. I was stoked.
Well, unbelievable in warrior mode with the helmet on. Congratulations. Hope to see you back over here on the glass.
Awesome. Thanks, Strider. Thanks, everyone at home, my family. Love all you guys. Cheers.
Leki Peterson right there saying she just clicked into warrior mode. And that was kind of the what we saw all day, the trend of surfers once again rising up to the occasion. It reminds me of the Ghostface album, Supreme Clientele, because the who's who of women surfers at Pipeline definitely competing at a high level today. And it's right. I mean, we have all those names that we expected to see here in the semifinals, starting with a stellar heat from two warriors in the business. Talking about Moana and Bella. Moana Jones-Wong and Isabella Nichols went out there earlier today in quarterfinal heat 2 and did battle.
Yeah, Moana, everyone's favorite here, local girl at Pipe, and she has really solid strategy. She goes out there, she looks for that left that she likes. I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, you guys, but I don't think she's gone right yet in this event. Why would you? Because she keeps clocking scores.
Yeah, she's ultra comfortable at Pipe. She did try and go a little backdoor wave, and you saw she just kind of clicked back into the Pipe where she's the most comfortable. I'm sure she'd have a good old dig at backdoor, but definitely just picking off the pick of the litter.
And Isabella Nichols right there answering a lot of questions. I mean, we all had questions for all the women competing today. This is the first ever full championship tour event at Pipeline. So it was really fun to see what everybody brought. I love this number next to Isabella's name, a 767. Right there, that's a win by itself.
Yeah, that was huge. Isabella played such a smart game under priority all day long. And yeah, she just needed about a 3-point ride at the end there, and it didn't come her way. But she was definitely looking in with a shot.
And that's the difference, right? The wave from Isabella was critical. It was a gnarly, steep wave over more shallow reef, and that's when those scores start to elevate. That's cool. I didn't see Moana's wave that she went right. That's cool to see that she does have a look that direction. But yeah, I'm just really impressed with Moana because she she doesn't steer away from her strength, and she's going to be tough to beat because, you know, she just knows her game plan, and she's got so much time out here in the water.
Yeah, it's going to be super fun to watch what she does in the semifinals, where with so much attention on Moana and, of course, Carissa Moore, anytime she surfs, wherever she is in the world, it's almost like you forgot about some of the other names that are absolute threats out here. Two of those names that we were all remembering quickly that are able to take a win anywhere they surf, Malia, Manuel, Tyler Wright, one of the heats of the event. Just transpired this morning. This one, as we saw it starting to load up on paper, got us all fired up.
Yeah, this one was exciting. I mean, Malia's just had this feminine finesse throughout the round. She's given us some of the best performances. This one against Tyler Wright, this is the first time Tyler's actually had to kick it out in neutral in this event so far. But Malia, you know, she had moments of brilliance in this heat. She just didn't find those open, cavernous waves to get the bigger scores.
Yeah, Tyler, you know, she reads this reef well. She surfs backdoor quite a bit over the years, and it's showing. And that's really the difference between Carissa, between Moana, and some of these standouts here on this piece of reef, is how to size up the right waves. The waves that are a little more critical and hollow, that makes all the difference out here.
So Tyler right there did get the edge. Pretty close heat. Unfortunately for Malia Manuel, that was her lowest scoring heat of the event. You know, we saw that rise all the way into the quarterfinals, which was really fun to watch. But Malia Manuel, again, you know, we know how good she is at Sunset Beach, so that will be a fun story to follow. And then we saw two of the best. Carissa Moore in all her glory, in that yellow jersey, just glowing in and out of the water. And you can tell that all the time she's put out here is paying off, but she did not have an easy fight on her hands.
No, Brisa's such a worthy opponent. Brisa's been one of the women that have really got the call up when they see this event on the schedule that they've got to spend more time out there. But Carissa just locking in like she does.
I was so impressed in this heat. She got a couple super deep barrels so far, and today, if you think about her highlight reel from today, she was definitely, you know, setting the bar. She was really deep in the barrel. That one where she held her face after, I was like, whoa, that was proper deep, where she did that big pump into the barrel. So, you know, we've been talking about Moana and how smooth she is, but Carissa, she's dialed in. She's getting some deep barrels.
Uncontrollable stoke. That's what we like to see out here at Pipeline. And take a look at your final bracket. And semifinals set up to be epic. Tyler Wright going up against Moana Jones-Wong. Carissa Moore will meet Leki Peterson. Let's get some picks. Why not?
Wow.
One pick each, real quick. Who are we going to see in the finals, Rosie?
Wow, you've put me on the spot.
Just
you know
went
what?
like that.
Well,
Just
do you know
threw it
what?
at you.
When I did my final five pick for the WSL, I said it was going to be a Carissa Moana final. So should I just stick with that? I mean, Tyler Wright, though, it's going to be, you know, whoever gets over that one, obviously. But,
We already have that on paper, so we're stick with that. What about you, Ross?
I think, you know, this is ideal for Carissa that Moana's on the other side of the draw, because Moana's doing her thing. She's really consistent. She's super hard to beat. Carissa, as I said, I think she's setting the bar. She's been putting down the best scores and the best surfing. I think Carissa's going to end up winning this event just because she has talent like Moana, but she's also really savvy. She's really consistently catching waves. She's reading the waves on the reef really well. She goes right and left. So I think Carissa will get it, but I agree with you. I think Moana's going to meet her in the final, especially if we see sort of a sizey day to finish up in.
Well, that's going to be fun to watch. Goofy versus regular, Hawaiian versus Hawaiian, you know, veteran versus wild card. It could all come together, but we will see what happens. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be back. Your top five and everything else. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the 8:05 post-show party from the Billabong Pro Pipeline. The day belonged to the women, and they made the show awesome. We saw joy, victory, intense competition, and just amazing surfing all around. And I like that we now get to kind of focus on some of the post-wave stoke moments. I am not mad at a claim or two here at Pipeline and Backdoor.
Most of these seem like a natural reaction to what's happening. That one from Isabella, I mean, that was just a physical reaction.
Yeah, no sales claims, right? These are all pure
that was
claims.
a reflex.
Yeah.
That was what we talked about yesterday when we did this with the men's, and it was the same thing. It's fun to watch natural claims because they're just like, okay, I cheated death, I got a big score, I won the heat. Yes.
Yeah. You got the soccer flop claims when you need a 4 or something. Yeah, I did it. All of those claims totally pure, like Rosie says, and we love to see it, and we will see more. Speaking of that, I'm very excited to show you all what we're about to see for the next couple of days here, the Surfline forecast. When it goes red, fasten your seatbelts. Things are about to escalate, Ross. Tomorrow, Thursday, Port of Fair. Well, that's a nice way of saying normal people can probably surf on the North Shore. Day after tomorrow, put your board in the garage if you're a noob.
With your lead up, I thought we were going back into Cote's hip hop quotes, but you can see it right here. Friday and Saturday, red. Rosie, excellent. That's kind of unique. You don't see that color and that word very often from Surfline, so we're expecting some really good surf. It is on that borderline where we're going to see a lot of second reef waves. It's a pretty hefty swell, but all the surfers are looking at that forecast too, and they're like, do I have my 7-0 ready? Yeah. Like, there's a lot of nerves bubbling right now.
Yeah, party on, excellent. But it is scary. I mean, the 2 days that we've seen the contest hit the lineup for the men especially, that was daunting. I mean, even John, he was saying that was getting a little bit too big from his perfect picture of Pipeline. But yeah, I think the women, semifinals, final on deck, and then the men quarterfinals onwards. So we can kind of cherry pick those couple of days.
Well, this train's a rolling, and it ain't slowing down anytime soon. We will give you that call officially tomorrow morning. But before we wrap up the show, we're going into the top 5. Now, this is where we really elevate the fun factor because we get to look back at our favorite moments of the day, starting with number 5, talking about Tyler Wright, full commitment. Wow. Wasn't a long barrel, but that drop right there was everything.
It's like another day.
I know.
It's a lot of size.
Yeah, Tyler Wright. I mean, think about Tyler. She won the completion of the Maui Pro out here. Her brother Owen, Mikey Wright, they both absolutely charged. So she's got great people in her corner. She's got Bam that she's working with, Picoa Bacalso, so that's paying off.
She didn't move all the way through, but she did make a statement. Isabella Nichols, a 7.67, one of the highest single wave totals of the day, and easily put one of the 2 brides of the event.
Yeah, I like that. That's crafty, that side door. She surfed it well. She's got kind of a narrow stance, a little bit back on her board, but she wiggled around nicely in that barrel. Nice claim, too.
Very cool, and all eyes of the international media and surf fans have been calling her the queen of Pipeline. Moana Jones Wong, and guess what? She's living up to those expectations and more.
Yeah, it's interesting to watch this wild card because Moana, I mean, she says, hey, I haven't surfed heats in so long. Obviously, she won through on the HRC Pro, but she is just picking up so quickly. She's so competitive. She knows this wave so well. And even her rail game isn't lacking when she throws around that bigger board.
Moana means business. And if you want to make that t-shirt out there, just give me one of them. I won't charge you anything for that awesome slogan. Well, speaking of meaning business, Leki Peterson. Ross, you've been saying it all week long, learning on the fly. Well, she's learned it and more. Right there, Leki Peterson, a statement victory, a last-second buzzer beater over Joanne Defay. Leki Peterson has arrived at Backdoor Pipeline.
Late drop, pulls in super deep, gets spit out right there, and this claim is funny. It's like 2 for 1. She's like, what? Did you see that? Peace sign.
And whenever Carissa Moore enters the lineup, 9s more often than not follow. Carissa Moore, backdoor, hello.
Yeah, she really had to use that forward momentum with that upper half of her body to thrust through this wave. Long section, depth in the barrel. Clearly an event favorite just by the way that she's surfing throughout the event.
Any event favorite, but especially here with what she just did right there. The highest single wave score of the women's draw. And of course, it's Carissa Moore. What do you see in the future for Carissa Moore? Not just now, but throughout the rest of the season.
Big wins. I mean, can she get that 6th world title? Last year, she made it look easy. I don't know. Ross?
Yeah, I think, you know, for her, it's all about her will to keep competing and get back on the road. And I think she's in a really good place. She seems hungry. She seems, you know, when you win so many world titles, I'm imagining that's the biggest struggle is like, do I want to keep doing this again? And I think she does. So look out, because she is well-rounded. She's good in performance waves like lowers. She's good in shallow reef waves like here at pipe. So she's the complete package, and she could catch up to Stephanie Gilmore. Who knows?
Can't wait to see what happens next. Well, one thing we do know is that all of our surfers are about to be tested at Big Pipeline. Get ready for the show. Until then, here are a couple highlights to get you amped. We'll be back tomorrow morning, the Billabong Pro Pipeline. This is a very, very dangerous wave for experts only. There's still some bombs coming in here at Pipeline. Solid swell pulsing through this morning.
The women's faces had that pipeline fear in them.
Let's kick things off with Malia and Manuel, starting right where she left off.
I got the fire in my belly.
Tyler slots through it back door.
I can smell fear, now I'm ready.
Moana scratching into this one.
I'm going down fighting.
Here we go. Tatiana on her backhand, looking for some vision. Good to see Tati completing those rides.
Going down fighting.
Molly Pickla, backdoor beauty.
Backdoor Isabella Nichols threads through there, arms in the air. She thinks she's got the job done. Moore in backdoor, and she's getting some more.
I use the pain that you gave me. Remember the tears that I cried. If you think you wanna come find me, bring it 'cause I'm ready to go.
Ooh, stalling.
Lakey.
Nice.
This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the written consent of the World Surf League.